Hey everyone, this is Grayson with PERRLA, and we're really excited to announce that PERRLA now works with Microsoft's Word for Web. That's the version of Microsoft Word that you can use inside of a web browser. Things like Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome, Apple Safari, Firefox, you name it. If you can get into a web browser, you've got a free version of Microsoft Word that works perfectly with PERRLA, so you have perfect formatting, references, citations, and the entire gamut of formatting stuff. Let's take a look at how it works. So here I am inside of a Microsoft Word for Web document. And the first thing that we're going to do, if you haven't done it already, is install the PERRLA add-in. Now, if you've installed the PERRLA add-in inside of Microsoft Word on your desktop, it should show up here automatically. There's no additional steps. As long as you're in the same account, that Word add-in is going to show up in both places. But if you need to add it, you can start off here in the ribbon tab, go over to Add-ins, and we're just going to search for PERRLA. It's a pretty unique name, and there's only one of them that's going to show up in the results list. All I have to do is click Add. That's it. PERRLA is going to get installed while Microsoft is doing its thing. There we go. It's going to show up inside of our ribbon bar, and it's going to go ahead and open up a side panel for us where we can log into our account. Perfect. Now, just like inside of Microsoft Word Desktop, the Word for Web add-in has the PERRLA ribbon tab, and we're going to work our way across it from left to right, starting with Create New Paper and ending with I'm Finished. So let's start off by creating a paper. Just like in Word Desktop and PERRLA Online, you can build research papers, discussion posts, reference lists, and annotated bibliographies. Let's make a research paper so we can see what it looks like in the process. Now, right now, you can only make APA 7th edition papers. We are going to be adding MLA 9 and Arabian into the mix, but right now we went with the one that our users want and need the most, which is APA 7. First thing, we're going to put in a title. We always write about Bigfoot, so why break a good habit? As you can see, because I'm logged in, it pre-filled my author name and institution. I can select one of the courses from my PERRLA Online application in case I have it, and then I'm going to enter in a due date. As you know, only the title is required. Everything else is optional. But once I've got it filled in, I'll say Create Research Paper. Now, because we're working inside of Word for Web, we're going to have two questions that we need to respond yes to. The first one is, can the add-in create a new document? That's what PERRLA is trying to do. PERRLA is trying to create a new document with all the correct styles and formatting built in. So we're going to say, yes, PERRLA can do that. Next, we're going to have another pop-up that says, hey, can the add-in, PERRLA, open up this new document? Yeah, we want to open up a new window so we can see the new document that PERRLA has created and formatted for us. Here you go. Here's our title page with the page number correct, the title page looking beautiful with all the correct information. And then we have a body that has the title on the first line, and then it's got a spot where we can start typing the paper with a page number in the top right corner. Now, because we haven't added any references yet, we don't have a references page. So let's fix that. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the PERRLA ribbon tab, just like always, and we're going to go to the References and Citations panel. This is where we can create new references using a DOI, ISBN, URL, searching by the author name, or if we're not creating a book, a journal article, or website, we're making one of the more odd reference types like an advertisement or an ancient or classical work, we can create it manually using the All Types tab. But since I've made a whole bunch of references already, let's just add one of the references that I've made in a previous PERRLA paper. So I'll click Add Reference from Library. I'm going to search for Bigfoot. And we'll add this reference right here by R.J. Bellamy. Now, as we do that, you can see PERRLA builds the reference page and adds the reference for us, formatting it exactly correct. Now, as we continue to add additional references, like this one from Billsley, PERRLA is going to add them into the correct spot inside of the reference list, keeping it organized while we write. So let's add this Henderson one here. Then we can come back and we can add this one by Everts. See, PERRLA keeps our reference section looking beautiful, and I don't even have to think about the APA formatting rules that it's keeping up with. So now that we have a few references, let's do the thing that we always have to do with references, which is cite them. So let's say we have, this is a great quote, and we need to add a citation for it before the closing period. I'm going to place my cursor where I want the citation to appear. Then in the References and Citations panel, I'm going to choose the reference I want to cite. In this case, I'm going to cite the Bellamy reference, so I'll click Add Citation beneath it. Since it's a direct quote, we need to put the page number, and I'll say Create Citation. Just like that, PERRLA is going to build the citation for us, add it into the paper, and make sure that it shows up underneath that reference inside the PERRLA panel. It's pretty nifty. Now you can continue to do this exact same process, adding additional references, creating citations, until you've worked your way all the way through the paper. You can also add in a bunch of other elements like abstracts, tables of content or appendices, text and heading styles, research notes, figures, tables, the whole 9 yards. Everything that you can do with PERRLA inside of PERRLA Online or inside of the Word desktop application, you can do here with PERRLA as well. Now, let's say that this is a beautiful paper and I'm finished writing with it. I am ready to turn it in. Well, we're going to go to the very last panel over here on the right, which is I'm finished. Now, whenever we have references and citations inside of our paper, PERRLA uses something called content controls to keep track of where those things are. Most professors are fine with content controls showing up in the paper, but every once in a while you get one who does not like to see them when they're grading. So what we have is we have the ability to create a clean copy of the paper. That's an exact replica of your paper with all the same content, formatting, and text. It just takes out those boxes, those content controls, so that we can turn it in. So I'm going to click Create a Clean Copy. PERRLA is going to build a new copy of this paper for us. It's going to download it to our computer. Here we go, Paper 2. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up this paper inside of the Microsoft Word desktop application so you can see. Here's my title page with the title looking great. Here comes the body with everything that we just put in, and as you can see, that content control around that is gone. And we have our reference section with all the references looking beautiful, ready to submit. Now I can take and I can submit this through Blackboard or Canvas or Brightspace, or just email it over to my professor once I give it a more appropriate file name. But that's the whole process. Microsoft Word for Web allows you to create perfectly formatted APA documents wherever you're writing from. And you don't even have to have access to Office 365 through your school. Anyone can create a Word for Web account for free through Microsoft. Just make sure that you use your personal email account and not your school email account. And you can get access to everything Word has to offer and use PERRLA to boot. If you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Our customer support team is standing by and excited to help you through this writing process. So, with that, thanks so much for watching and good writing with Word for Web.